Most people completely destroy their belly fat burning window as soon as they get up out of bed. Your body actually wakes up ready to burn belly fat, and what you do in those first few minutes can change everything. And this was no different than everything else I thought I knew about fat loss. From a very young age, we're manipulated into trying to understand things like exercise is the way. You can never exercise your way out of a bad diet. The foods have fundamentally changed over the last 30, 40, 50 years. And everything you've been taught, everything I've been taught and thought I knew is completely untrue. Okay, I understand too. I've tried literally every diet on the planet. Atkins, keto, Malibu, low carb, high carb. I mean, now there's these sugar only diets, which just sound crazy to me. I understand this. I mean, you gotta remember the way we've been raised. We were eating cereal in the mornings. I now believe that cereal is one of the worst things that you can put in your body. And you know, it's in the grocery store. There's an entire row that is dedicated to this stuff. And you know, when you wake up as a kid, you pour a big bowl of cereal. I used to have cornflakes, Rice Krispies, you know, all this stuff when I was a kid, and I used to put a layer of sugar on it, eat it, put another layer of sugar on it. This was completely normal. And I mean, you can just imagine what that did to my energy and my mood and spiking my insulin, and then how I'd feel in the afternoon. Of course, I didn't notice when I was a kid, you have so much energy, but I mean, it's kind of setting you up for disaster. I still love cereal to this day. I hardly ever eat it, you know, because it's just so bad. My mom used to, as a treat, we'd get the cornflakes and oatmeal sometimes, but you know, Rice Krispies, but then as a treat, sometimes my mom would buy us honeycombs or Fruit Loops. And I mean, I absolutely love them. They have so much sugar in them. But looking back now and understanding the ingredients and the dyes that are in them now, those foods are so terrible. And I mean, if you're trying to burn belly fat and you wake up and you eat these things, you're doomed from the start. So what are you supposed to do? Stay tuned. You need to remember the amount of misinformation that is out there. And I mean, it starts when we're young. It starts on the commercials on TV. Now it's leaked into our doctors. And I mean, when you don't know, you don't know. And like my friend Coralie always says, when you're aware, then you're never not aware. You understand that now. I'm aware of what's in these cereals. I've looked up the ingredients. And I mean, they engineer these foods to try and make them as addictive as possible. But once you educate yourself and understand, you know, how bad they are for you, you're not gonna wanna eat them anymore. And I mean, I was at the grocery store the other day, I walked down that aisle and I thought, you know what, I should get some milk, maybe some cereal, have it as a little treat, and I decided not to, because there's just too many bad things. And I know there's a few other ones, and it's okay to have them as a treat once every couple of weeks or whatever. If you really love that stuff, you can squeeze it in and still be healthy. This isn't about restricting everything, but if you wanna burn belly fat and you wake up in the morning and you get that cereal, you gotta remember, overnight your body has been burning fat. You're fasting. Everybody fasts every day when they sleep, whether you get 5 hours or 8 hours. You've begun a fast and your body's gone into heal and repair mode, and it will burn belly fat because you have nothing else to burn, especially if you don't eat, if you follow my rules and don't eat a big meal before you go to bed. So you wake up primed to burn fat, and what you give your body in that first hour is gonna be the difference if you continue to burn fat or if you change and you know, spike your insulin and then go into storage mode. So you always have to remember, the big thing here is your body is the perfect fat burning machine. It's what you give it decides whether you're gonna burn fat or you're gonna store fat. So what's the solution? We've discovered what the problem is. What's the solution? Well, every aspect of your life, I like to break it down into sections, because then it becomes a bite-sized chunk that you can actually handle. You're not gonna shove the whole meal in your face at once. And it's same when it comes to losing belly fat. So let's talk about the morning. Now, I've discovered that you can do this morning ritual. I want you to get up 15 to 20 minutes earlier than you normally would. If you don't have time for this, I want you to make time for this. You need to invest in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. You need to make changes. And you know, losing the 15 minutes of sleep, go to bed 15 minutes earlier. You need this time for yourself, because I've outlined, there's 4 things that are combined in 3 steps that you need to do that will be this first step in fixing the problem. And we're gonna Use the power of that sleep time and your body fasting connected with a few other things to make a big difference. Okay, I want you to remember, I've made this completely simple. I do this just about every day, and I don't have any fancy equipment. You don't have to go to the gym. I've made this simple so that you can do it wherever you're at. I travel for work and I'm back home. Me and Amanda go on little, 2-night trips or whatever, and I do this religiously almost every day, and it gets my day started off on an just set on the right tone, the right vibration, the right pathway to burn belly fat. Okay, these 4 steps are super simple. Water, sunlight, movement, protein. Easy. Let me explain them. Okay, first step, water. You gotta remember, you've been sleeping for 6, 5, whatever, 8 hours, hopefully. Work on that if you're not doing that. I'm working towards it. I'm at about 6 now. Sleep is very important, and water is very important. Most people they mistaken dehydration for hunger, and they'll eat. Most of us are dehydrated. Most of us don't drink enough water. So you've been sleeping for 7 hours. You haven't had any water. You want to get up in the morning and have a big glass of water. That's going to fire up a bunch of stuff in your body. Now, you can supercharge this water. You can add some cayenne. You can add some lemon. You could add some turmeric in there. I like to add a few different things. Apple cider vinegar. All these things are good, and they have a powerful effect on your health. And remember, everybody's different. Some of them may not work for you. Some of them may work better for others. I like to combine them all. And it's all these little things that add up into the culmination. Like when you see these apple cider vinegar tablets or gummies and all these things, and they become the craze, because you got to remember, all these supplements kind of ebb and flow. And they're all very good, most of them, but they're not the be all end all. They're gonna make a difference of a small percent. So like this morning drink, it's not gonna be everything. You'll see videos about some drink that's gonna change your life, right? Well, that's not gonna happen, because your health is the culmination of a bunch of things. Your thought, your movement, the food you eat, how you go about your day, interacting with others. All these things matter, your connection with the earth. But this morning drink, you haven't had water. You need to get this water in, and this is gonna fire up the fat burning effect. And it's gonna kick in your digestion. The lemon in the water alkalizes your blood. Like, it's just got an amazing bunch of things. And I've added in and out of my routine. I try and stay consistent with this every day. I'm getting better and better as I get older. So the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you get your water in. Step 1. Okay, the next thing, the scientists have proven that this works. Andrew Huberman talks about this all the time. Peter Attia, I love that guy. I love both those guys. They just break down things in a scientific way, understanding the mechanics of the human body that we can implement in our lives. So the next thing I want you to do after you have your water is beeline it for outside to get that natural sunlight in your eyes. Now, I've started doing this when I'm at home. I'll get up before everybody. I'm a morning person. It drives my family crazy. They're all kind of a little bit cranky, but I'll get up and I'll get out and I'll start walking. And a lot of times it's dark because I love seeing the sunrise. And I mean, the sunrise, it's a beginning. Every day is like a reset where you can change things in your life. Every meal, every year, every month, every week, every day, there's all these resets that you can take advantage of where you can start over. So tomorrow, get up, beeline for the sun. If you want to learn about the science, look up Andrew Huberman, how he talks about it. It resets your circadian rhythm. And you need to remember, for eons, we used to go to bed when the sun went down. We used to get up when the sun got up. That's the way our internal clock works. And one of the things that I attribute to me becoming a better sleeper is doing this, getting out and going and getting the sun in my eyes. I like to do it in the evening too, if I can catch it going down, because that can make a big difference too. There's science behind that too. And what I like to do with it is couple a walk with it. I want you to move. We have muscles, we have our lymphatic system, we have our heart and our blood. We're meant to move. And we all sit way too much. I'm sitting right now recording this video. When I'm at work, I sit quite a bit. I have to run up and down to different places, but we're driving in our vehicles, we're sitting. So I want you to get up and move, even if it's for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes is the time you want to get the sun into your eyes, the minimum. If you can do more, that's great. And I'll try and go for half an hour, seems like the sweet spot for me in the morning. Get that sun in my eyes, get the walk in, and I just feel better about the day. And the other thing I do while I'm walking or going on this, most of the time I won't listen to anything. I won't listen to a podcast. I won't listen to any music. I'll think about the day. I'll express gratitude for the things that I have in my life, because I think that is super important. You need to be grateful for where you are. And I mean, this can break down as simple as possible. If you think your life is terrible, there's always somebody or something else. And I mean, there's a video online. It's amazing. It's like when you wake up and open your eyes, be grateful that you have eyes to open. So we all have a lot of things. If you're alive and on this side of the dirt, then you have things to be grateful for. So I'll go through those things. I'll kind of think about my day, Amanda, the kids, my friends, any messages maybe that I could send to people to brighten their day up. I mean, some of these things can go a long way, especially when I'll send a song to somebody, or and sometimes I'll give somebody a call, connect with my dad or people that are far away, right? So get out, get the sun in your eyes, get that walk in, and you can stack that with a bunch of other things that are just gonna put you on this path that help you burn that belly fat. Okay, the next step is getting protein in that meal. Instead of reaching for your coffee that's full of cream and sugar, and then having, a muffin that comes with it, or a bunch of bread that's gonna be converted into glucose in your body and spike your insulin, I want you to get protein in. And I mean, I think one of the simplest eggs and the staple of my diet is eating eggs. Like eggs, I absolutely love eggs. They're delicious. I eat just about every day, I'll eat 6 eggs. And I mean, I have a pretty big breakfast. I'll have eggs, I'll have 2 pieces of toast, sourdough usually, I love that stuff. I'll have zucchini, I'll have green pepper. I try and combine 2 or 3 vegetables in there. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of cheese on my eggs. I'll have a half of an avocado, a little bit of hot sauce, put some salt and pepper on there. I mean, this breakfast, it's about 700-800 calories. And I mean, the eggs, it's just a mountain of eggs, and they're absolutely delicious. And eggs are like this medium. You can cook them in so many different ways and add veggies in there and sauces or some Greek yogurt or whatever way you like them. I mean, I know eggs are super popular. You gotta make sure you get the good ones. Pasture raised are the only ones that I buy, or I get them from my friends. There's local people that sell eggs. There's better ones in the grocery store, but all the cage free and all that, that's just a bunch of gimmick stuff. And when you get this protein in, they say it takes more energy for your body to burn the protein. So you're going to burn a few little extra calories that way. Also, I find it's way more satiating when I eat a lot of protein. Like if I have the sugary stuff, and occasionally I do have that. Sometimes me and Amanda, are out and we'll grab like McDonald's bacon and egger, and I'll treat myself to a double coffee, which are really sweet now. I almost can't drink them. I just have the cream now, and I'll have a muffin, one of those fruit and fiber muffins. I absolutely love them. I mean, they're like cake, right? I notice after I have that, or I have my normal breakfast, by the time a few hours roll by, if I have the sugary, high carb breakfast, I get hungry, earlier, and I feel a little bit sluggish. I'll get that afternoon crash. But if I have my protein meal, it's completely different. I can be satiated. Like the other day, I had the big breakfast. I had to run to town, get a bunch of groceries and different things. And I didn't want to eat anything in town. It was hard to find anything good sometimes. It didn't really feel like anything. And I didn't eat till like 4, and I really wasn't that hungry. I was a little bit. So I just feel like it satiates you way longer. And since I've started implementing this, I really only eat 2 meals a day now, and maybe a shake or like a third smaller thing. I'll have 2 bigger meals, 800 calories or so. That brings me to 16. I've been eating 2,000 calories just to try and lose some belly fat. JJ's dropping fat pretty fast, my son, and we kind of, it's not like we have this competition going. My buddy James out here, we're all trying to get leaner and maintain that leanness. And this protein in the breakfast is really helping out and really making a huge difference. Okay, so there you have it, the morning reset. And this works really well. And you got to remember, if you're trying to win the day, like you break it down by the day, right? This is how you do things. This is how you achieve. This is how you make a goal. You got to break it down into simple, achievable steps. All the experts talk about this, because if you try to chew off too much, you're going to fail, right? So we're going to win the morning first. Now we start winning the morning the night before. We don't eat 3 hours before bed. I have a whole routine. I'm gonna make a video on it of how I've improved my sleep and how I burned fat all night long and into the next day. So if we look at the 24 hours and we back it up and we actually start winning the morning the night before, and we don't eat 3 hours before bed, and we turn off the lights and we do all these things. I want you to watch that video. I'm gonna make it soon, about how to set yourself up for that night. Then, if you go to bed, say you go to bed at 9 or 10, And but at 5 or 6, 5, 6 or 7, you start winding all this stuff down and you're not eating. Your body's starting to go into fat burning mode, healing and repair mode. Remember, if you eat a big meal before you go to bed, your body's got to digest that. Your body only has so much energy that it can use and move to certain areas. So you want to have your stomach empty. When you sleep, so many processes happen. And your body can burn belly fat, it can clean your brain, it can heal and repair things. So you don't want to be digesting food all night. I mean, I used to eat big meals. And from my Whoop band, I've learned my heart rate is elevated when I eat before bed. But if I don't eat 3 hours before, it sets me up. And so we're winning that next morning. We go that whole night. We're talking 3 hours before you go to bed, sleep 5, 6, 7 hours. We're at 10 hours. We do the morning routine that I just explained to you, and then we go throughout our day. Sometimes you won't need to eat till 12, 1, 2, sometimes for supper. You're gonna be so satiated, right? When you eat that protein, you get the sunlight in your eyes, you get movement. Maybe on your 15-minute break, you go for another walk instead of doom scrolling on your phone. So you gotta remember, you've won half the day. Half of your day, and then you only have a few hours before 6 or 7 hits again, and you're back into the routine, right? So then we just have to get that straight. Our supper, whole foods, stay away from the processed junk. I'll use the 80-20 rule. You can 80% of the time eat good, 20% you can have some fun treats. Maybe, I don't like to call it cheats. We all call it cheats. I call it cheats sometimes, but they're just foods that you indulge on, that you like, that aren't that healthy, but you're not having them often enough to destroy your body. Probably if you're gaining weight, you are eating that stuff too much. So remember, we're trying to win as much of the day as possible, and this simple little morning reset is gonna have you winning half of it right off the bat. Okay, so let's wrap it all up. What do I want you to do next? I want you to try this challenge. I want you to put in the comments, yes, I'm trying it. Then I want you to do it for 7 days. See how you feel. See what it changes in your life. I call myself a scientist because I have an open mind and I'm willing to try different things and see how I feel. You gotta remember, there's 7 billion people on the planet. We all have a different diet. We all have different habits and patterns. And when you can set yourself up to win each day, then you're gonna win in other ways. You're gonna win maybe at work and be in a better mood. You're gonna this is the thing that I always say to people is every little step that you make, and we always know what the right and wrong decision is. We know when we're eating sugary things, we're not leading ourselves towards that goal. And I mean, over the years, dealing with the guilt of eating bad and all these different things, you understand that when you make these right decisions, you just feel better about yourself. And when you can make these small wins, they're gonna add up to big wins, right? So you gotta remember, I always say this, every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around. It's really never too late. I'm 53, and I honestly feel like I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life here in a few short months with all the changes I've been implementing. And like I said, you gotta keep an open mind. Don't have that tunnel vision that you can't change and that won't work for me. Humans have been doing this stuff for millennia, and remember, I always say everything begins and ends in your mind. And if you think you can believe, if you believe that you can achieve it, then it will happen. But you have to put that intention out there. So try this, guys. Tell me you're gonna try it in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.